For the 2012-2013 school year, our class learned about climate change. The class observed clouds, air temperature, and surface temperature using GLOW protocols. The class gathered information from several sources regarding the number of asthma cases in Georgia, the number of school days missed, and the number of air quality alert days. In comparing information from previous years, students began to wonder if climate change was causing a rise in alert days and increasing the number of asthma cases seen by doctors' offices. Our hypothesis is that we believe that climate change is causing a rise in asthma cases. Our formal hypothesis is if climate change continues with dramatic temperature fluctuations, asthma cases will continue to rise significantly. What is climate change? Climate would include patterns of temperature, precipitation, humidity, wind, and seasons. And these patterns do play a big role in shaping the natural ecosystem. Climate change is a long-term change to these patterns, especially a change due to an increase in the average atmospheric temperature. What are the effects of climate change? Some examples of effects of climate change would be an increase in storm activity, thermal expansion, which is causing the sea level to rise, and the sea surface temperature, and also seawater is becoming more acidic due to an increase in CO2 levels. What is asthma? Asthma is a chronic or long-term disease that inflames and narrows the airways to the lungs. It can be marked by spasms in the bronchi of the lungs, causing difficulty in breathing, which can cause chest tightness, wheezing, shortness of breath, and coughing. Who gets asthma? Asthma is typically more common in females than males, and it often starts during childhood. There's more than 75 million people that have asthma, and about 7 million of those people are children. As you can see by the graph, asthma cases have risen significantly over the years. Air quality. Air quality is a measure of the pollutants in the air and a description of healthiness and safety of the environment and atmosphere. There are two ways to basically collect data. One of the two ways is continuous monitoring, and the other is non-continuous. In the air quality chart, there are 6 basic levels of health concern. Green being the best, and maroon being the worst. Alert days in Georgia. Atlanta has been named the capital of asthma in the U.S. And unfortunately, approximately 56,000 or 15% of middle school students in Georgia have asthma. It's a lot. How can climate change affect asthma and allergies? Climate change increases temperatures in the atmosphere, which can grow ragweed, flowers with pollen, and mold spores. When these plant seeds enter the air, it makes the air thick and hard to breathe. Climate change can lead to several respiratory diseases, of course, one of them being asthma. And California is home to the worst air pollution in the world and high climate change. And researchers have found that climate change can increase visits to the emergency room by asthma victims in the next decade. How can climate change affect asthma and allergies? Continued. Climate experts are particularly confident that climate change will bring increasingly frequent and severe heat waves, as well as a rise in sea levels. How can climate change affect asthma and allergies? Continued. Climate change makes outdoor allergen cycles longer, unfortunately extending the misery for allergy and asthma sufferers. Is the global rise of asthma an early impact of climate change? It does present a significant challenge to public health because because of the increase in asthma incidence, prevalence, and morbidity. Global trends of asthma. As you can see by the chart, the global trends of asthma have increased significantly over the years. Conclusions. Our purpose was to determine if climate change is affecting the cases of asthma. We believe that climate change was causing an increase in the number of asthma cases. In looking at the research and the cases over the past 20 years, it appears that our conclusion is correct. The 20 years of data that we collected seems to indicate that as climate change is occurring, asthma cases are rising, not only in the state of Georgia, but in our country as well. The ozone readings that have been taken in the fall also seem to indicate that air quality is declining, which would be a major concern with people who have asthma.